Howdy, campers. Back for week 12. Um, wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving today. Um, Mainly for posterity because there's not too many people that are following this on a regular basis yet. Hopefully, you've just rediscovered or discovered me after the fact. And just running through some old vids. If you're new to the channel, but happy Thanksgiving nonetheless to you and yours. Go over week 11 first. One of the worst weeks I've had all season. I went 6-8. There was some really stupid things going on. Um, but I also had some sloppiness. I didn't realize that Dalton was going to be back for the Cowgirls. So, for example, so I got a little sloppy. I threw it together at the last minute, and that's what happens. But some of these games were just dumb. There's no way to pick them when you're like this. So my season record from week 2 through 11 now, as the first week I hadn't really committed to doing this yet. 87, 56, and 1. Um, just fairly underwhelming. So hopefully we'll have a better stretch drive. And with that in mind, we'll go into the picks. Kicking off soon, this early afternoon is going to be Houston at Detroit. Houston at Detroit, as I like to say. The early of the two Thanksgiving Day games. Going to go with Houston in this one, even though they're on the road. I do think Deshaun Watson is very special. He's finding a way to win in some of these games. Detroit is not. They don't. They don't stand out to me in any way. I think they'll keep it close in this game, but they're just not finding a way. And quite frankly, Houston's got a better passing game so far than Detroit does. So I'll go with them in what will probably be a close game. Um, the Fighting Ron Riveras are going to go down to Dallas, down to Jerry's World, and they're going to go and play the Dallas Cowgirls. I'm going to pick the Cowgirls this time at home in a fairly tight game, but I think that Dalton makes all the difference in this respect. Alex Smith is a good quarterback over with Washington. However, not a good running game there. I'm thinking another thing with Dallas is that the longer that Zeke Elliott has gone since having COVID, he's starting to maybe get a little stronger, and maybe he's going to get his legs under him by this stretch drive of the season. They've got a chance at the playoffs. Anybody in the NFC least does, but they could make a run. They really actually could if they can get Zeke running well. That makes Dalton a dangerous quarterback. He's not chopped liver, so. So for Thanksgiving Day, gobble gobble, we'll say Houston on the road, Dallas at home. Sunday early games, and by the way, there's 16 games this week. We don't have the buys. There are no buys this week. So we're gonna have the Raiders. I just love doing that. Going down to play the Dirty Birds in Atlanta. I'm gonna take the Raiders on the road. They've been a pretty good road team this year, and they're starting to play a pretty good brand of football. They came up short last week. That was a really good game. It was a really good game against the top quality opponent. So let's go with Vegas on the road to bring it to 7-4, and they need this one, especially after the loss last week. Next one, we got Cleveland going to Jacksonville. That's going to be Cleveland. I think Cleveland's quite possibly going to be a playoff team here. But Cleveland's playing just enough, and let's be honest, this is an inferior opponent that they'll be playing. So Cleveland on the road against Jacksonville. Cleveland takes that game. Arizona is going to go up to New England. I don't hear of any really bad weather up there. Arizona's got a pretty dynamic offense. I'm going to go with Arizona on the road. New England just doesn't have the shutdown defense to be able to play. Like I said last week, that 2,000 Ravens type of thing where you have a game manager or somebody just doing just enough, and that's where Cam is right now, which has been underwhelming. I thought he was going to be a revelation of sorts and was going to lead New England to the title, to the East title again. But that ship sailed. Next game is going to be the LA Chargers heading up to Buffalo, heading over to Buffalo, and whether or no weather, I'm going to take Buffalo in this game. They're a superior team. They put some weapons around Herbert though. The Chargers are going to be back pretty quick. I would say next year, the year after, depends on their draft. They're going to do some good things. That kid can play. Miami is going to go to up to the Big Snoopy. They're going to play the dumpster fire of New Jersey, also known as the New York Jets. New York Jets will stay winless after this game. I think Miami finds a way, although they're you can't call them dynamic right now. But Tua's doing a good job for the most part, even though he had to be benched last week, and they almost pulled it out. With his backup, Fitzpatrick, it just didn't happen. So I think Miami bounces back well. They play a really good style of defense. The Jets play a good style of lighting dumpster fires. Yeah, they don't do anything well. Next game is the G-Men from New York are going to go out to Cincinnati. G-Men are going to win this game, and had Joe not gotten hurt, this would have been a Cincinnati game as far as I'm concerned. I would have picked Cincinnati in this game, but with a backup like Finley, he hasn't shown himself well. Cincinnati's going to get. They're not going to get mauled, but I think it's going to be a convincing win for the Giants. Carolina's going to go up to Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota at home with the great running game. Carolina, they really, really miss McCaffrey. They're going to be back next year, but yeah, they're hurting. I'm gonna have to take Minnesota. They'll do just enough. Tennessee, off of a very, very convincing win in Baltimore, is going to go to Indianapolis. Indianapolis actually has a superior defense to them. I'm actually going to take Indy at home in a tight game over Tennessee. Although Tennessee, has shown themselves well, I think Indianapolis is making a run as well. It's taken me a little bit by surprise. If you'd asked me earlier in the season, I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen. Baltimore is going to go to Pittsburgh. Baltimore has regressed in a big way, and they've lost that physicality. I've seen some articles on this. They even had somebody, they even had Tennessee was basically went out to the middle of the field and challenged their team before the game, and nobody went out except for the coach, Harbaugh. That's weak. That is really weak. It's like their heart's been taken. They were a bully last year, and this year they're getting pushed all over the yard. It's becoming more and more apparent. And when your franchise quarterback starts talking about how the other team wants it more almost every week, he ain't lying. Something's wrong in a big way in Baltimore. So Pittsburgh will find a way to get that done at home. So Pittsburgh is going to take that game. I don't think they're going to go undefeated, but I do think they're going to take this one. The Sunday late games, there's 3 of those. San Fran still isn't right. And the Los Angeles Rams are going to host them at SoFi, and they're playing pretty good ball right now, and they're playing very well on defense. Surprisingly well. Aaron Donald is not a one-man wrecking crew, and he's not the only reason that they're doing well on defense, but he's a big part of it. Take the Rams at home. New Orleans is going to go play Denver up at the Mile High. I'm going to take New Orleans on the road. They're playing much better. Denver, again, they've been decimated by injuries. I think this is a New Orleans road win. KC is going to go to Tampa Bay, and I'm going to expect to get this one wrong, but I just got a feeling on this one. I'm going to take Tampa Bay at home in a shocker. Every once in a while, in the second half of every season, KC has a game they should win and don't. And they had a big come from behind win, which was, by the way, Patrick Mahomes' first come from behind win in the final 2 minutes of a game in his NFL career last week. Tampa could get him. I mean, Tampa just came off of a disappointing loss. Let's see what happens. Tampa Bay's got a pretty good defense. So let's see what happens in that particular game. Sunday night game, we're going to have the Bears up against Green Bay. And Green Bay, superior team in every way. I see Green Bay at home. And then Monday night, Seattle's going to go to Philadelphia. And Seattle usually does play well in the primetime games. Philadelphia really is. They're still not whole from the injury standpoint. I'm going to go with Seattle, even though Russ has got to right the ship if he wants to get that MVP again. So I think there was eight road games, eight road teams, eight home teams. I think I've never done that all season. But enjoy the games, enjoy the turkey, gobble gobble. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace, me homies. See ya.